We are actually going to start today's with connections. I noticed there's a few people that are not. Oh, we got them joining. Excellent. Everybody that is on this panel has been kind enough to keep their cameras and their mics off while we were getting rid of our little agenda beginnings here. But now I'm so thrilled to hand it over to Cheryl. And Cheryl, I'll keep an eye on the questions and answers in the chat and fill you in with what's going on. But you and your team did an amazing job. Let's do day number 2.
Okay, well, we're all set and ready to get into it. We are working today talking more about connections. So can all of my panelists show up, turn on your mics and turn on your cameras. We are going to talk about surviving and thriving with aphasia. All of the members of the panel have aphasia. I'm the only one here who does not have aphasia, uh, but I'm sure you'll treat me well, despite
Yes,
my
I know
shortcomings.
that. Hmm.
Despite my shortcomings, we have on the panel Tom Boyle. If you raise your hand when I call your name, Bora Keskin, Denise Lowell, Aboye Jinkiri, Josh Smith, and Henry Lowendick. We're missing one person who I'm sure will be showing up sooner or later. What I want to do first is to ask all of my panelists, and hopefully if I can, it's not working here, but I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And I want everybody, I'll call your name and you can answer the questions. One, I want you to tell me a little bit about what you were doing before your aphasia diagnosis, either for work or for fun, and what you are doing now. Okay? So we're going to start with you, Tom. You're up in my upper left.
All right.
So what were you doing before?
Yeah, I was working at Pelican Water as a sales manager.
Mm-hmm.
And then I for fun, I golfed.
Mm-hmm.
And
so what are
yes.
you doing now?
Well, I am volunteering at Aphasia Recovery, no, Aphasia Community Center
in Sarasota.
And Sarasota, and teach adapted golf. And now, adapted golf is a program for handicapped people.
Very good. Thank you, Tom. Josh, what were you doing before your diagnosis? What are you doing now?
Yes, I was an artistic director for a professional theater, and I was a musician. I was the resident musical director for the Capitol Repertory Theater in Albany, New York, and I was artistic director for a theater in Woodstock, Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And now?
Well, since I've had the stroke, I exercise a lot, and I do the Voices of Hope on Tuesdays, and I fill my days every day with Zoom classes.
And what do you do on Mondays?
Yeah, Mondays I host a music appreciation session that we can read about a musician that is currently in the news.
Okay, great.
And then we play a game based on the article, because it helps with our comprehension and memory.
Great. Thank you. Aboye, how about you? What were you doing? What are you doing?
So, my name is Aboye Jinkiri, and I was and am chief of staff for a Tallahassee-based management consulting firm.
So you're working still.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. Bora, how about you? What were you doing? What are you doing?
Uh, um, um, I have I been a general in director of real estate in Dubai.
Mhm.
And
And currently,
now I am work not working but exercise a lot.
mhm. And you're a bit of a motivational speaker too. I've
Yes,
been
yes.
involved and seen some of your presentations.
Yeah.
Denise, what were you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, 10 years ago, I had my stroke, and I was a mental health counselor working with children with various disabilities, and I loved my job. Now I am the director and the founder of Just Ask Aphasia, Stroke, and Knowledge, and we are proud to say we have our first aphasia center here in Rhode Island.
Wonderful. And Henry, what were you doing? What are you doing?
Okay. I was retired from my job living in Florida, and I had my stroke 11 months ago. Now I'm working on my recovery from my stroke, and I'm doing pretty good. I can do most things okay.
Mhm. And you're a bit of a world traveler. Most of our meetings
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
have been from overseas. And what I wanted everyone to hear from you all is that you had work and things that you were doing before your aphasia, and you're still doing stuff. You're
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
thriving. You're still making a life for yourself. And I want to talk a little bit about how that happens and what has been your motivation for keeping going. Okay. Um, a general question for all of you is, who has been helpful for you? Who people or what agencies have been helpful for you as you have made your way from your diagnosis to the point you are now? Who's been most helpful? Hello, Dan.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
Hello,
Uh,
Dan.
who has been most helpful? Josh, who has been most helpful for you as far as keeping you
Well,
motivated?
the Voices of Hope on Tuesdays is excellent, and we can follow up on that on Zoom 5 days a week. And I go to the Sarasota Aphasia Center that Tom has. Mhm. And I also do the many classes on Just Ask. I do recitation group every day. I have the Paul's singing group, and then Paul Pacello.
So you find motivation
Yes.
in communing with other people who have aphasia.
Yeah.
How about you, Aboye? Who's been helpful for you?
My family has been very helpful. Both of both of my parents are educators at different points. I think my mom's training was like preschool and elementary, and my dad is a college professor. And so I have brothers who make me worksheets and make me practice math. Um, And I also have a very supportive employer who's let me use work as therapy. So a lot of the lessons that I learned when it comes to executive functioning, or like working on my executive functioning skills and my math skills, I've been able to practice some of those things in the context of work. And I've also have speech and language therapists at Austin Speech Labs, and they have been very, very helpful. And I also have an emotional therapist and a personal trainer, and they keep me going.
Very good.
Boy,
Henry, how about you? What's keeping you, who or what is keeping you motivated?
Yes, I think first of all, within yourself, you got to motivate yourself. Uh, of course, my wife is helpful, and my speech therapy is good, but I want to thank Denise for this ask because I attend a lot of Zoom meetings that she sponsors. That's very good. For me, I'm in a small town, and it's not easy to go to in-person meetings was like you talked about yesterday. I think Zoom is good because I can meet other people and have friendships for others I haven't had before. I went to the Aphasia Community Center, that's a Tom, and of Aphasia, the forward, that's a guest, a sponsor that, and Voices of Hope in Tampa is really good, and University of Michigan, uh, Boston University, and Northwestern, and speech recovery pathways
But
in New California.
but you're saying that there are a lot of external motivators, but that you inside you have to be motivated
Yes,
and
yes,
to
yes,
want to do more
yes,
and do better.
yeah, yeah.
How about you, Bora? Who and what have been your motivators?
Eh, my wife, of course, and my family, friends, and a lot of aphasia community center and this and that. Yeah, but uh, eh, I, I, Henry is good because of we only myself is, and then go to my wife and my family, but
Hmm.
only myself is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And sometimes if you don't have the motivation within yourself, it's hard to get even motivated enough to seek motivation from other people
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Dan, how about you? What is your motivator? What keeps you going and keeps you thriving to do better?
I exercise all the time. I lift weights. I cycle. I cycle with my team. Um, and learning. Learning. I have to get. I have to get. Since Marsuk, I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot. It's by reading
Hmm.
and math and spelling and stuff like that.
And you're the second person to mention math. And one of the this scares me, but one of the things that I love about working with adults is that you kind of know what it is you want to work on. And so that can help with your motivation. I'm leaving Tom and Denise for the end because both of your names came up in the area of motivation. Tom, who keeps you motivated? Who keeps you striving?
Well, my wife first. I mean, she is man, she is a wonderful person and she's kind. It's just amazing because a long time ago, I couldn't do what I do now. So first, I want to thank my wife.
Shout out to Erica.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, my wife, yeah, Erica.
She is
Yeah,
a force. Yes.
yes, yes.
Mhm.
But I think uh, support groups are very, very important. You know, I mean, we went to Sarasota and, you know, I thought that, hey, we need a support group for all of us. So we sat up and we did it. We are working on it very hard, and it's all over, you know, like the Sarasota County. All right. So now, but Aphasia Community Center was very, very good. I mean, I learned spelling. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to communicate with each other. And she and you, Cheryl, you were, I mean, a long time ago, I couldn't even speak. So I'm grateful for you too. So it's a combination of things that are everywhere.
So you found motivation in the need for
Yes.
a unifying center
Yes.
to help people in Sarasota who had aphasia. And Ms.
Yeah. And
Denise, oh, go ahead, Tom.
oh yeah. And then, you know, just you know, people, I started to teach people how to uh relate, you know, like I can take them by the hand and show them what to do.
And literally with golf. I mean,
Yes.
that's you literally take them by the hand and show them how.
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
Right. Denise, how about you? You started a nonprofit organization after your stroke. What motivated that?
Well, it actually, my husband really motivated me to not give up. We traveled to different programs that we did not have it in our state that I could even find. I thought I was the only person that had aphasia, except for a couple of people I knew. But I went to Florida and I did an intensive treatment program. And I said, well, I got better, but I still didn't find that drive that I needed. I went to the Bridge Project, and then I seen a whole world of people with aphasia, all different types of aphasia. People that have the anomic aphasia that I have, that my speech came back faster, but I still can't find words easy. I don't read and write well. Math is improving, 10 years, and I can say I'm doing pretty good with math now, but it's a hard journey to keep improving. I did meet Cheryl at the Bridge Project, and when I got home and I was telling friends and stuff like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is so great. Why don't we have this in Rhode Island? And I don't know if my friend is watching right now, but I had a speech program and I came out of the hallway and somebody else was getting speech. And I was telling him about this, and I'll give you a shout out, Michael. And he said, well, just do it. Have your own conference and do it. So I took the challenge. We started a conference, and now we run our 7th annual conference now. And one of the things that I had the hardest time about having a stroke and having aphasia was I couldn't afford to go get all the education I needed. Webinars like this used to cost $400. There are other events and training was I just lost my job, I lost my income. I can't do that. So one of our goals was that anybody wanted to learn and improve with aphasia, we're going to hold a conference every year, and we are never going to charge anybody to learn about aphasia and a challenge that we never signed up for. But we're living with it and we're doing it the best we can. And the only way I felt it important was to have people like you that they know what I'm going through. They know that we are still smart in here. We still can do better. We just need the right tools and tips to do it differently. We do things differently now. That doesn't make us less than or anything. And then it comes back to that inner drive. What is your inner drive? What makes you passionate? Whether it's your family, book reading, walking, exercise, find your own inner drive and make it happen. And some days are going to suck. I mean, this is not for the weak. I mean, our days are really great. Some of our days are terrible. But if you get up the next day and you keep going, hey, pat on your own back and say, hey, look what I did today. All right, tomorrow I'm taking a break. But now I have a whole bunch of aphasia family that are working together. And I was able to, today was really great to hear that what I've been doing is effective and that it is purposeful and that people need to have a community, whether they do it in speech, groups, support, and not to feel left alone. And I'm so happy to be here today and to share my story.
And all of you have very unique stories, but I want you to raise your hand if it's been easy. Raise your hand.
No,
So
it's
it's a challenge. It's a daily challenge. But one of the things I suspect you find out is that you can do hard things. That you've done hard things in the past before you had aphasia, and you're still doing that. How do you develop a community of people to help you, either within an organization or by yourself? For example, Aboye, you're at work, you're still working in the same place, doing essentially the same thing. How do you build a coalition of coworkers who are going to be allies for you and help you when needed?
I think it helped for me that the support comes from all levels of the organization. But my bosses were very and have been very intentional about having me work with small groups of people instead of having everyone reach out to me to ask me questions about how to do their work. So there were only a few people that were really, and I say allowed, but not really allowed, but there were a few people that I worked very closely with, and everyone else, if they had inquiries, had to go through other individuals or those individuals so that they could screen the requests. And I think that helped because one of the things that I still struggle with is just being overwhelmed by too much information or too many asks and having to process too many things at one time. So at least initially, we did that where we were very careful and very intentional about who could ask, make requests of me. And so they filtered some of those requests. And now, I've been able to speech therapy has helped me learn how to process information better and faster, so a bit more efficiently. And so now, I can deal with a lot of those requests more easily.
Well, how about some of the rest of you? How have you built a community of people who help you out? I know, Bora, you are doing some motivational speaking.
Yes.
Um,
But
how are you finding people to communicate with?
I Facebook group Aphasia movement, thousands of them join us because of I am a medicine. A movement is medicine, really. And then I uh, I'm not running at all, but 2 years ago, maybe three, I'm going to run with friends. And then now I am, last year I have marathon. And then this year I have a triathlon.
Oh,
Yeah,
triathlon?
yes,
Wow.
yes. But spring, I'm going to more Olympics or half Ironman. I don't know, but I I want to join my um, movement because of movement is really amazing.
Mm. Henry, I know you mentioned that you had your stroke maybe less than a year ago.
Yes.
How are you um, with meeting new people and building a coalition of people that can help you?
It's very easy, I think. Number one, my friends where I live were fantastic here. When I had my stroke, I can only say one word. After 3 or 4 months, I can speak, speak a little bit. And that's why I love uh, Zoom meetings. Everybody that joined on that were all alike. We're different what happened to you, but we're all together in this journey to get better. And it doesn't matter where your interest is, there's a group out there, and you can make friends and see them every week and catch up what's happening. It's it's really a beautiful thing that happens. Yeah.
And so you've been able to find those people that can help.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
I know with you, Denise, in developing a nonprofit, that's a lot of paperwork. Sounds like a lot of meetings. Probably had to have a board of directors and all of that. Um, how how did you, or was there a barrier for you in doing all of that verbal communication at first? Were you reticent or reluctant to take all of those meetings and to take that on because of the demands on your communication?
Well, with the reading really challenging and all that paperwork it's excessive. Even if you don't have aphasia, it's a lot of work. So I had run out of my units and I couldn't do speech anymore. So I was on a break. I went to a library and asked for a literacy program. So I had this woman that was helping me practice reading and writing. And I told her when I came back from that event, and she goes, well, you want to practice writing and learn in something functional, like writing a grant or writing a group. And then you could do your first conference. And I said, okay, we'll try that. So together is practice reading, writing, finding resources. So it was actually a therapeutic approach to get there. And then we figured out you need to have a board. Then we added my husband, because who's my best supporter is him. And then I had a social work. I had one of my speech pathologists that I loved, and she became on the board. So that was my network of people that have supported me and were my cheerleaders, and really helped me feel like there is a purpose in life, because I think we all feel like we just need some type of purpose or something to enjoy living life again. And that became my purpose when I never had one. I thought it was over. And we didn't, back in 10 years ago, Tom, you'll understand that we didn't have these groups. We didn't have Zoom groups. We really felt so isolated from the whole world. I mean, I had to travel to Florida to find that group, and because my husband was so motivated to get me back into the real world, to go on that trip and do those things. I think now, I think a lot of people have more opportunities, and NAA has grown over the years and being more focused on being involved with people with aphasia, and the resources that can provide us all those directions to go in. I mean, they've gone in 10 years differently. Even the past 2 years, it's been amazing. So I think that as we grow and we get better, we find those people that are kind of moving us along our journey, or at least letting us know when to stop for a minute, because we all need to take a break. So, again, my husband's the best. My board members that give me the tips and the tools, or take the role that I just can't do everything. I can't do what I used to. Math is hard. We're not going to have Denise do the treasurer. We'll get trouble.
We'll give somebody who can do the numbers. But you found in a speech pathologist someone who embraced the LPAA, the life participation approach to working with folks who have aphasia. She found what motivated you, what you wanted to do, and built your program around that. And I know, Tom, when you first had your stroke, I think Erica was saying that she found teachers in church, and you had a whole array of retired teachers that were helping you at one point, that to help get you to a point where you were able to communicate a lot easier. You are running an aphasia group, I think. Do you have a
Yeah.
monthly group that you run?
Yes, and that uh, I volunteer at the hospital.
What do you
I
do at the hospital?
Yeah, I am a cart driver, so I
Oh,
drive people that need to get in there, because they are rehab. It's a rehab center,
mhm.
so that's what I do. So it's wonderful. I mean, it's and I am helping other people.
Yes.
That's what and then I volunteer at ACC teaching a sports class. I host an online chat group, Siesta Key group.
So
It's a wonderful wonder, and all over the country. I am I am all over the country. I am doing this.
mhm.
I just amazing what I mean. I just want to let everybody know that you're here. You're welcome. And
So
then uh,
So
I
Tom, 10 years ago, would you have predicted that you would be doing all of this?
no, I would not. I mean,
Mhm.
I think, God has a plan for me, and that volunteering excellent. And, I volunteer at Adapted Golf. Adapted Golf is a program for handicapped people.
Mhm.
And I teach people with one hand to hit the ball. And,
This-
so I had 4 holes in ones.
I was
since
going to
that.
say, how many holes in one did you have before you had aphasia?
No,
None.
I
You've had
did.
4 since you've had aphasia. 4 holes in
Yes.
one. Did you
Yeah,
predict that
so-
10 years ago?
No, I didn't. So, I mean, I'm grateful for everything I got back too, It's
I see
awesome.
Henry giving you a lot of affirmative head nods. What do you think, Henry?
Yeah. I played golf with a Tom and May, and I will tell you, Tom and Erica were wonderful people. But Tom, with what he has done to swing a golf club with one hand, he big me and I'm losing too. He's a great golfer, but better, he's a good person, and we're a real good friend, Tom.
I think he's one of those Marvel
Thank you.
superheroes as far as golf
Yeah,
is
well,
concerned. He's getting
yeah.
that.
I
I know.
I had to practice.
There
So
you go. That's how you get to
yeah,
Carnegie Hall, they tell me.
that's it.
Why I haven't been. Speaking of Carnegie Hall, Josh, I know you're still working in the music field. You are working, you have your Monday session, which looks fabulous, by the way. I'm a member, but I haven't actually had a chance to go because I'm teaching. But you've had to um, deal with a lot of people, maybe who don't have aphasia, in building that. Are you reluctant sometimes to talk to people who don't have aphasia because of your aphasia? And that's a question for all of you. Do you
No.
sometimes hold back?
I think that everyone is supportive and love what I'm doing, because it is good for me and others.
Mhm.
And I have learned through my sessions what works and what does not, because there is all levels of learning. So it needs to be simple ideas that everyone can understand.
Mhm. Good. And how about you, Dan? Are you reluctant sometimes to talk to people who don't have aphasia because
Yeah.
of your aphasia? How do you get over that? How do you get over that?
Patience. Yeah,
Mhm.
patience. I want to say something, express myself, and then cycle. There are there is the team, Lakai's team. So I'm talking to someone, and I cannot express my express my voice, and then he goes somewhere else.
Oh, so
Yeah.
when you're trying to, if you can't get your words out fast enough, people
Yeah.
leave? Mhm.
Yep.
What do you think about that? How does it make you feel?
It's terrible, but I have to deal with it. Patience.
Mhm. Do any of you have a strategy that you use when you meet new people who don't have aphasia? Do you let them know right up front that you might have problems, or do you wait till something happens? You're shaking your head there, Henry.
Yeah.
Do you let them know up front?
Me, yes,
Yes.
I do up front. I've had a stroke and I can think and I can talk, but it would take me a little while. But a story I can tell you briefly. I was in Germany, and my friend, he is shy, and he needed a hearing aid battery. I went up to the store and asked them if they had hearing aid. No, where can I go to get them? And we went there, and my friend doesn't have aphasia. He can speak, but he doesn't like to talk. I'm doing all the talking for him for his hearing aid. But that's what you
Yes.
do. You're a good person and you help all other people.
And I say that to people with aphasia all the time, that if you didn't have aphasia and someone came to you and said, I have problems communicating, can you speak more slowly and be patient? You would do it. You know, you're good people, you would do that. And you want to extend that opportunity to show grace to other people. So tell people up front. Are you sometimes reluctant to show the struggle that you might have when you're talking? Bora, sometimes when you're trying to get the words out, it's a little bit of a struggle. Are
Yeah.
you reluctant to show that side of yourself? Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you do? How do you overcome that?
Not good enough. Yeah.
You're still working on it?
Yes. Yeah.
A work in progress. That's all right. That's all right. Does anyone have a strategy for showing their struggle, or an opinion on showing the struggle?
Well,
Are you okay with it? Is it too much? Josh,
in the
I see your hand up.
past, I just would not talk to anybody unless they asked me a direct question. But through the Zoom chats, it has let me practice, and I am more comfortable in talking to people.
Great.
And if maybe they don't know what aphasia is, but they know what a stroke is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Denise, you had your hand up.
One of the challenges is like with the speech challenges I have at the beginning. Some days are even worse than others. I have aphasia card. It's helpful, and then
Mm-hmm.
that kind of gives me a pause and then think about what I wanted to say. One of my biggest challenge, I keep saying, is reading is really hard. And to travel, I would always need to have an assistant, somebody go with me to try to read everything on those boards and keep track. I found this program called the Sunflower Program when you
Yeah.
travel. And I'm happy to say I've been able to travel on my own now using
Those are the lanyards with the
the
sunflowers
lanyard
on them.
Mhm.
because there
Mhm.
are
Yep.
people in the community that do want to help.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great place that I was able to accomplish a challenge I had or something I would never thought I would be able to do. So again, it's finding when's it safe to get help and when it's not, because I've had some really rude situations from the phone people to the supermarkets, and I've had great days and I've had some bad days, and you pick your battles. Is that
Yep.
worth my time and effort, or do I move on to something else? But I mean, people are rude sometimes. It's regardless.
Exactly. And they're rude whether you have aphasia or not. Some people are just, holes. I'm gonna say the first part. Aboye. Go ahead.
One of my I love my sunflower lanyard too, and so I traveled internationally for the first time post-stroke in July with the sunflower lanyard, and so you'll get a +1 from me on that. One of my speech therapy goals was being more comfortable talking to new people, because I always feel like I have to practice a script when when people when I'm getting ready to respond to people, or I need to know at least what the topic is going to be. And when you're talking to strangers, you don't always know what they're going to ask you when it comes to small talk. And so small talk has been very, very difficult. One of the things that I was a perfectionist before I had the stroke. And one of
Really? Go ahead.
And one of the things I've had to do is let go of that perfectionism, and just tell people words are hard, and sometimes use the people around me to help find my words. And so I'll sometimes have charades, what I call charades during meetings. If I can't find my word, I'll tell them it's kind of like this word, but it's not that word. Or I think it starts with a C, or if I know what it starts with, I'll sometimes finger spell in ASL to help me find my words. But that's, yeah, I've had to let go of the perfectionism and just tell people I make a lot of mistakes, and they'll admit that they do too.
Exactly. So you have embraced it and made it part of your daily routine that sometimes I struggle. Deal
Yeah,
with it,
and my
you know.
challenge is try. And
Hmm.
everything is an opportunity. Like I love to learn. And so everything is an opportunity to learn. And so that just, in order to learn, you have to be okay with being a novice.
Well, with the rest of you, Aboye was saying that, she had to let go of that perfectionism. How about the rest of you? Uh, are you doing the same in some ways? Saying no, or allowing people to see the struggle within you.
Well, I'm a perfectionist too, and it's hard. It's really hard, and you got to take take a deep breath and hold it, because it's happening, and it's going to happen all the time. So, but I mean, like, for instance, golfing, new golf, new people all the time, you know, and I said, I had a stroke, I have aphasia. Aphasia is a loss of speech, not intelligence. I tell them all the time, and they know. I mean, well, they don't know, but
But you
they
tell them.
are. Yes.
Yeah.
See, and that's it. And then now, I mean, I feel comfortable, not all the time, because I'm a perfectionist anyways. So, but I mean, I'm trying, and that's all you can do.
Henry.
Yeah, I I used to be a perfectionist, but now it got so down. I can't do the things I used to do. I would get uptight if you're running late or you have a meeting or meeting somebody. All that stuff is gone. I get there when I'm ready to get there. You can't hold all that in. That's not good for you. Just be easy and plan ahead. You know what's coming up and uh, plan for it.
So allowing yourself that grace
Yes.
to kind of relax and not be a perfectionist
Yeah.
has helped you to kind of achieve where you are right now. Is that something that you would all kind of agree on, that, giving yourself grace? can be helped. I was going to be a perfectionist, but it was too much work. So I had to give it up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I can
You're who I
I
want
can
to be when I grow
understand.
up. What?
yes, I try to do my best,
Mhm.
and then I'll reflect on that, and then I'll write down things that could have been better for next time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a great way to
Yeah.
look at it. You know,
Mhm.
you can't, if it's already happened, you can't change it,
No.
but you can learn from. So that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, because you know there are a lot of things that I would come natural that just doesn't anymore. That I
Mhm.
have to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thinking is not a bad thing.
Mm.
More people should
No.
try it.
Yeah. I you know, I I do homework every single day. I mean,
Mhm.
one hour, I just, keeps me busy and keeps me active
Keeps you
too.
active. Well, we have run out of our official time, but we do have some time for questions. Is
Yes, we
that
have
right, Maura?
some we sure do. You
Okay.
guys, that was just amazing. And I love the themes that you all keep pulling in about advocacy and bringing your programming into work context, volunteering. These are such great opportunities. And I've been asking in the chat for people to weigh in. A couple questions that came up that I'll pose to you guys, and you can all just share it, and then I'll move to the next one. Is one question that comes up very often is, do I disclose? Do I tell people that I have aphasia? And are there some situations that it's good and others that you wouldn't choose to do it? So if the panel could comment on that question, that would be great.
I haven't met anybody I wouldn't tell because they're going to look at me and know what my speaking something is not right. Just tell them I had a stroke, I, I have aphasia and a proximity of speech. I can hear you. I know what's going on. It takes me time to see, tell, say the words. I know what I want to do, but just tell them.
Mhm. Denise?
I think sometimes it's too much work to try to explain that to somebody. Sometimes it's too much of a bother for some people. They're not listening anyhow. So sometimes I just kind of move on. They're not worthy of me to explain this to them because I got too
Henry,
much
Henry's
else to
cracking
do
up
I
right
here in the
agree.
now.
corner.
I agree. I agree.
People are nice down in Florida. I don't know about on
I,
Rhode
Right.
Island or
People
Most
you
in
not.
bump
my
I
into.
don't
small
know.
my small community is really nice, but sometimes if I go out in the community more, it just seems like everybody's so busy, 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 and don't have the time to listen or deal with. Maybe it's this New England area I'm in. I don't know. Move, 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 move.
And sometimes you run into jerks. I mean, and before you had aphasia, sometimes you run into jerks. And I kind of do agree with you, Denise. Sometimes it's just not worth it. You can try it, and if it's not working, move on. No sense getting high blood pressure because somebody else has bad behavior.
That's right. Another
Yes.
question that comes up is about your speech therapy programming. There are, to Cheryl's point, I don't want to say good speech therapists and bad speech therapists because there's no bad human beings that
I
are.
say experienced and
Yeah,
less experienced.
right. I mean, there are many people that maybe don't know aphasia well or don't want to stick with a very structured task oriented therapy that just doesn't fit what you want to do. And you are then in the position of advocating for that life participation approach. And so, but I've also heard people say, yeah, well, I have 8 sessions, or I have 30, I have to, it's too late to change. I just have to stay with that person. I'd love your advice. And especially because we have so many people either at universities training future speech therapists or speech therapists themselves on this call, what do you want them to know? And how can you give somebody who hasn't advocated for themselves that confidence to say, yo, this is not working for me right here?
I always try to remind people who are looking for a speech pathologist that we are trained as generalists. We are trained across the lifespan. We're trained to work with fluency and swallowing and everything else by training. People who specialize in working with folks who have aphasia do that post-graduation usually. That's when they start to focus. And sometimes it's like if you go to buy a Lexus and they're trying to sell you a Hyundai, you're not gonna fall for that. You're not gonna buy that. You came for a specific thing. If you need a speech pathologist who specializes in working with folks who have aphasia, that's who you need to find. And if your speech pathologist is not meeting those needs, you can shop. You can go around and shop around. And some of the best places to find in your area a speech pathologist who might meet your needs is in an aphasia group, because those folks have been through it all. They know stuff. They know people. So I'm
I
done.
want to say,
That's my
I
soapbox.
want to say something. I want to say something. I had 2 speech therapists, 2, long time ago, and they fell asleep when I was talking.
Mm.
Okay, and I didn't. I mean,
And they probably charged you for the full hour, didn't they?
oh yeah, and I couldn't speak a word. I couldn't speak a word, so I tried to wake him up. I mean, that's so
That's
and
horrifying.
That is.
yes, horrifying. Now I know, but so everybody's got something to work on, and like that's it. I mean, but I, I still, now I'm can speak, but I couldn't speak a word. So
Think of the vulnerability of that position.
Situation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody has aphasia, especially in the beginning when they are very limited communication and people are assuming that they're not there, they're not getting it, those people are at incredible disadvantage from equity of care and accessibility to things. We're currently working with organizations like Epic to make sure that people are tagged when they come in, that they have a communication impairment, not just a fall risk or an allergy. But I think that like internal respect that you're talking about, Tom, I remember my mom handing me a worksheet that was literally looked like it was purchased at a education store for children, and it had a picture of a house and a picture of a key, and she was supposed to draw a line, and she literally looked at me, tears coming from her eyes, handed it back to me with her paralyzed left or hand, and she couldn't talk, and said, smart, smart. And I just like, it took everything for me to be saying, this is my profession. These are my people. So I really appreciate that vulnerability and sharing that, Tom. Who else has an idea for that?
I would like for people to realize that we're interviewing them as much as they're evaluating us. And I had a couple of bad situations. And one was saying I wanted to do more the person-centered planning type of what I wanted to work on. And it was one of those that just took out the book found a page and said, we're going to work on this. I said, no, I said, I want to be more current. Like, I want to use my computer better. I want to practice saying full sentences. And well, if you want that type of therapy, you're going to have to get another one in conjunction with me because this is what's needed. And I said, no, I just need one that does it right. And
Yeah.
I laughed.
There you go.
But there are other therapists that if you don't have the advocacy of yourself, or you don't have a partner to advocacy, it is hard. And we only get so many units on our insurance to use. So we want to use it the best we can. And if that's not happening, it's a big loss to us, and we can't come back and get that again until we try again. But again, everybody should know that once your units are over and you're still improving, have your primary give you another referral to go back and do it again. 10 years, I still say I need a reboot, and I will call a therapist and do something I want to practice on reading to see if maybe something's more current that I haven't tried before. So you never give up, and there is services, and there are some amazing speech pathologists out there, and I hope we can find more people like you both to keep this happening. So
Aboye, you had a comment you wanted to make?
Yeah, I have been incredibly fortunate to have moved to Austin. So I was living in Tallahassee on my own when I had my stroke 3 years ago, and I moved to Austin to be closer to family. And as a result, I found an organization here called Austin Speech Labs, and they have been phenomenal. And one of the things that I've specifically worked with my therapist on has been how to advocate for myself. And they sat down with me, and I think somebody wrote in the chat about that we are the experts and when it comes to our care. And I've been able to find therapists who truly believe that, who are, treat me like the expert, and we're hand in hand coming up with a plan, and then they come up with the exercises that support my goals.
Boy,
And
that was perfection. I'm going to go back and record that.
Any speech pathologist worth his or her salt will do that. For me, I'm still an educator theoretically, but what I always tell my students is, in your evaluation, as much time needs to be spent on you talking to your client, finding out what they're interested in doing, finding out what they want to do, what is important to them. Yes, you have to do the test because the insurance company needs something they can understand. But as a clinician, your job is to work in concert with your client. You're not teaching them and over them. You're kind of working as a team. And so you need to ask them what they need.
And I'd add, Cheryl, learn about the person, learn their values and their interests and their passions. It went against every HIPAA law in the world, but we kept putting this big sign up when my mom was in the hospital, and they kept taking it down. And it would say, my Joan is a nurse. She recently lost her husband. These are her, she has 10 grandchildren. These are the things she enjoys doing, so that people would not look at her as a number and I think
a diagnosis.
Yes, and I think that kind of instruction needs to start on day one. It means how many emails we get at the NAA that says, I just want to learn to have a conversation with my husband or wife or my daughter or whatever. And I'm like, are you getting speech therapy? Oh yeah, we've been getting speech therapy for like 3 years. And you're like, that should be the first thing. Teach some communication supports. This is awesome, you guys. Cheryl.
This panel is phenomenal. Every last one of y'all.
All right.
Wonderful.
All right.
Any final words before we move on to our next thing, which is a little wellness?
Just practice your homework. That's it.
Let's not call it homework. You're adults.
Fun activities.
Activities. Okay. Activities.
Yeah. I love Jerry just wrote, I haven't recovered from aphasia. I've recovered with aphasia.
There you go. Mhm. I
Keep
like that,
bringing
Jerry.
it, everybody. We love you. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you all
you.
for participating.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Loved it.